Hello, everyone. My name is Amish Gandhi, and I'm the founder and principal engineer at DropSecure. In today's video, I'm going to explain the different types of encryption that are available today and that can be used to encrypt and protect your data. So the first type of encryption that I'm going to explain is symmetric encryption. And then the second is asymmetric encryption. So to begin with, symmetric encryption is probably a little bit easier to understand. As the name suggests, in symmetric encryption, the same key is used to encrypt and the same key is used to decrypt the data as well. So let's take an example. Let's say if Alice wants to send an encrypted message to Bob. Her message is, "This is my secret." And she wants to send it to Bob so that only Bob can decrypt this information. Now, using symmetric encryption, the way it would work is that the same key is going to be used to encrypt the data. In today's technical standards, advanced encryption standard AES 256 is the most widely used type of symmetric encryption. And here the key length is 256 bits, and these bits are almost equivalent to the number of atoms in the universe. So it's a very long key that can be used to encrypt the data. And since this key is very long, it would be very difficult to guess the key and decrypt this data as well. Now, to send this data, Alice would encrypt this message with AES 256 key, and she will send the encrypted message to Bob, and she would also need to send the key to Bob as well, so that Bob can decrypt this information. This is where the symmetric encryption has a drawback, because both the sender and recipient need to agree on a key before the message is being sent back and forth. If this key is compromised, then of course, all the messages that are being sent are also compromised. But it works great in some scenarios. So the other type of encryption is asymmetric encryption. Now, as the name suggests, with asymmetric encryption, one key is used to encrypt the data and another key is used to decrypt the data. So let me just erase this here. So using asymmetric encryption, let me just change this to number 2. So in asymmetric encryption, if Alice wants to send a message to Bob, the way it would work is, so the first step is Alice and Bob, to use asymmetric encryption, they would need to generate some keys beforehand. And so in asymmetric encryption, Alice would have her own public key and a private key. And same with Bob. Bob will have his own public key and private key. As the name suggests, public key can be used by anyone. It can be given to anyone so that they can encrypt the data using a public key. And only your own private key can then be used to decrypt the data. So nobody else can decrypt the data but your own private key. And so now in this case, when Alice is sending Bob an encrypted message, she would take Bob's public key and encrypt this message with his public key. The encrypted message is then going to be sent to Bob. And to decrypt the message, then Bob would use his private key and decrypt this message. Now, if any other key was used to or tried to decrypt this message, it will not work because it was encrypted with Bob's public key. So here the advantage is that no prior key needs to be exchanged between the two. No agreed key needs to be exchanged. The only thing that's needed is the public key from the recipients. And this is where we have combined the symmetric and asymmetric encryption in DropSecure so that our users can exchange the data without knowing the intricacies of the underlying encryption methods and types. And that's how we have made it easier to send and receive the information.